We have been having a lot of conversations about how to adjust with my newly 2-year-old and how to, continue to be a great parent, and how to shift and sort and do all the things. And Auntie Juba is so amazing when it comes to just guiding me through this journey of parenting and teaching me patience and teaching me how, showing me the different developmental phases that are absolutely normal when it comes to raising a toddler.
Yes.
And so one of the things that we recently talked about are terrible twos.
That's right.
And Aunt Juba was like, it's no such thing as a terrible two. And I'm like, what? It is a such thing as a terrible two. And the way you broke it down, breaking down like how they're going through their own set of developmental phases, they're feeling different things. And I was like, you know what? You're right. It is no such thing as a terrible two.
That's right.
Because we all go through stuff.
Yes.
And like even as an adult, I go through things and nobody's labeling me as a terrible 30s,
That's right.
So like we put this label, terrible twos, on something that's completely normal.
Right.
So I don't know if y'all have toddlers or if anybody watching this is a caregiver, and you're in a situation or in a position where you're handling a toddler.
Right.
Aunt Juba has demystified terrible twos for me, and I asked her would she come on here today and share tips with all of us in terms of not using that label. So when it comes to Phoenix, she's 2, and you mentioned how right now she's developing more teeth.
Yes. So terrible twos, the reason why we hear that term is because you had this maybe infant age and it was calm, it was quiet, it was kind of nice, and then all of a sudden it's just literally overnight the child has changed. And again, going back to knowing your infant or your child right away, when Phoenix this has taken place with Phoenix maybe about a week ago.
Yes.
Because of the nature of my work, and I see the signs right away, because it was like I came in from overnight and Phoenix's nose was running, but she's not exhibiting any signs of being sick, and she looked like she didn't get much sleep, and then within an hour, she was already kind of nodding on different things in the house, which she normally wouldn't. So I said, I know exactly what's going on. She's starting to get her molars. So just that quick observation, I already know exactly what to expect. Now, for new parents, if you didn't have Miss Juba around, or if you didn't have access to your pediatrician, there's enough information out there for you to see the signs. So if you see something like that, that would definitely help you navigate that. So now the whole thing is, why are they acting this way? And that's not because they just want to be challenging to you the whole entire time. You have good days, you have bad days. But now you incorporated this new stage, which is having those molars. If we think about teeth pain for us as adults, and how we feel, especially when we go to the dental office where you are fine, and then after visiting the dental office, you're like, I'm gonna go lie down, I don't want anybody to talk to me, I'm not eating, I'm not, so just put those same things you would do for yourself for them, except now they still want to play, they still want to be involved, they're looking at you like, they don't know how to tell you, but because that's how you're going to be able to face and get through this.
And I appreciate that so much, because I did find myself being a little bit frustrated.
Right.
So Phoenix, her behavior completely changed.
Yes.
And I'm going to use the word ratchet. She was being real ratchet. And I was like frustrated.
Right.
And so, because I always heard the term terrible twos, and because she started acting different right before her second birthday, I'm like, oh God, terrible twos, here we go.
Yes.
And you just breaking things down to me the way that you did, and then you observing her behavior and like getting to the root helped me to also like unlearn and deprogram myself from the terrible two concepts. And also pay attention to her behavior, because she can't articulate what's happening. So it's like, even before I was a parent, I would see children out acting up, and I'm like, oh, they bad. But what you continuously teach me is like, they're not bad.
They're not.
They're trying
There's no such thing. It's especially from somebody, an educator like me. Their children are not bad. They're having challenging behavior, because that's a thing that's going to come and it's going to go. It's going to go as fast as it came, or linger around depending on their adult and how is their adult handling them, maneuver through those challenging behavior.
Yeah, and Juba said ain't no such thing as a bad child.
There isn't. Because remember one thing, children are they are a reflection of their parent or of their adult. So when you point fingers and you say that child is bad, you are really saying their adult or their parent is bad. So let's think about that.
Oh, wow. Okay. Or you might touch
Let's think about that. I know.
Wow. Well, that's great, because we are reflections. Like what you spotted, you got it.
That's right.
So wow. You're absolutely right. And so just having that grace with those children. So how do we, as a first-time parent, or even a family, I mean, you have 4 children. So how did you consistently find that grace when the children were getting into that phase where they needed more attention? Or they needed, how did you navigate that with multiple children, when some of the children needed more attention sometimes than usual?
Than others. Because again, my last 3 are so close in age. It seemed like we were finishing up one, and then one started, and then so that went back to just knowing the individual child. If you know, just like in the household, in our household, we might have maybe grandma, we might have grandpa, we might have dad, we might have mom, we might have baby, and then there's a toddler. But yet how when grandpa exhibits certain signs, like, oh, grandpa needs to take a nap, and we all kind of share that as a family, right? Or you notice, grandma's a little grumpy, or so we all share that. And it's not like you look at them like, why are you over there, just want to be alone, and so when you're in tune with your family, or whatever that might look like, it's the same thing for children. It doesn't matter if you have 1, it doesn't matter if you have 10. You will know, each person